Dear students, this is the second lecture of the topic size reduction. In previous lecture, we have discussed about their objectives, various principles or theories which involves to explain the mechanism of size reduction. Now, in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the various equipments which are used for size reduction. Here you can see this table explains the mode of stress applied and that mode helps in which kind of equipment. Here you can say the modes of stress are crushers, grinder, ultrafine grinder or cutting machine. In case of crushers, stress applied, the equipment which are used for that force are edge runner and end runner. In case of grinder, again it will be explained with the mechanism of impact, rolling or compression, actuation, and crumbling. In case of impact, hammer mill will be used. For compression, roller mill is used. Actuation mill also work on their own principle, and for crumbling, ball mill is used. In case of ultra-fine grinder, fluid energy mill will be used. For in case of cutting machine, cutter mill will be used. Now, here you can see the table which describes the various mills which are used, what kind of principles they are going to use, what kind of particle size will be produced, and for what kind of material may be used and may not be used. Next, in case of cutter mill, it involves the action of cutting that will produce the size 20 to 80 mesh that is useful for the materials such as fibers and crude rubber. It may not be used for pliable material. In case of roller mill, it works on the principle of compression. It will reduce it will produce the size of product that is 20 to 200 mass. It is useful for soft material and it is not useful for abrasive material. In case of hammer mill, it works on a principle of impact which will produce 4 to 325 mesh product size. It is used almost for all the drugs but limit to abrasive material. In case of ball mill, accretion and impact forces are applied that will lead to produce 20 to 200 mesh size. It is used for brittle drugs. It may not be useful for soft material. In case of fluid energy mill, accretion and impact forces applied that is produce 1 to 30 mesh size. It is moderately used Moderately hard and fiber material can be used in fluid energy mill, but it limits to soft and sticky material. In case of edge and end runner mill, both are act on crushing and shearing forces. Again, they produce 20 to 80 mass sizes. Although almost all the drugs can be used in edge and end runner mill, but they are still limited to sticky material. Now, lastly, in case of colloidal mill, shearing forces applied improves the size of 3 to 75 micron drops. It is also useful almost for all the drops and it limits to dry material. Now, first we will see about hammer mill. It works on the principle that material is impacted between rapidly moving hammer on a rotor and the powder material. How? Here you can see this image. This is a hammer. It is attached. This is a hammer. This, these are the hammers attached on a material, or you can say a vessel. This is a feed inlet. Here, what happens? Your samples will come under this. It is connected with a motor. It will, while the motor machine is on, these hammers will rotate, and due to the impact force, your material will be break down, and then here one screen is attached. That limited size particle will be collected. Here is your discharge pan. Here you can discharge your samples. Now, hammer will be used for milling dry materials, weight-filled biscuits, ointments, and slurries. Brittle material is best fractured by impact from blunt hammer. Fibrous material is best reduced in size by cutting edges. There are variants of hammer mill, that is stock tornado mill, Fitzpatrick commuting machine, that is Fitzmill, micropulverizer, or hammer crushers. Now, how it is, we'll see about the construction and working of hammer mill. A hammer mill is essentially a steel drum containing a vertical or horizontal rotating shaft or a drum on which hammers are mounted. Here you can see this. The hammers swing on the edge ends or fixed to a central rotor, like in this. Hammers are fixed and rotate on its shaft. The rotor is rotates at a high speed inside the drum while material is fed into the hopper. The material is put into the hopper which is connected with the drum. The material is powdered to the desired size due to the fast rotation of hammer. It is collected under the spit. Here, the sample feed will inlet. This vessel consists of the fixed hammer upon which, due to this machine, the vessel is moved. The hammer is also moved due to the impact force. The samples will hampered on the hammer and it will break down, and here your sample will be collected. Here you can see the industrial scale hammer. These are the hammers. Your samples will and rotate over here and break down due to the hammer or impact forces. The samples will get affect break down, and here below this the screen will attach. That screen will pass the desired size samples, and here with the nozzle end you can collect your sample. So this is the construction and working of hammer mill. Here is the example of industrial hammer mill. Your sample will be entered here. The hammer will move and the particle reduction size will take place over here, and from this here you can collect your samples. Now, merits of hammer mill. It is rapid in action and is capable of grinding many different type of materials. They are easy to install and operate. The operation is continuous. There is a little contamination of product with the metal abrade from the mill as no surface move against each other. The particle size of material to be reduced can easily control by changing the speed of the rotor, hammer type, shape and size of the screen. So, the particle size of material to be reduced can be easily controlled by changing the speed of the motor. Due to the change in the speed of motor, hammer type, where the impact forces may change and the desired size and shape can be obtained by this controlling the speed. So these are the merit of hammer mill. Now demerit of hammer mill. Heat buildup during milling is more, therefore product degradation is possible. Hammer mill cannot be employed to mill sticky or fibrous material. The screen may get clogged. These are the demerits of hammer mill. Now we'll see about ball mill. These are also known as tumbling mill or pebble mill. It works on the principle that of impact between the rapidly moving ball and the powder material, both enclosed in a hollow cylinder. At a low speed, the ball roll over each other. Accretion will be mode of action. Thus, the ball mill accretion and impact both mechanism takes place. Now we'll see the construction of the ball mill. It consists of a hollow cylinder which is mounted on a metallic frame in such a way that it can be rotated on its longitudinal axis. The length of the cylinder is slightly higher than its diameter. The cylinder contains ball that occupy 30 to 50% of mill volume. The ball size depends on the size of the feed and the diameter of the mill. The balls are made up of steel, iron or stoneware and act as a grinding medium. Here you can see these are the balls which are used in ball mill. The movement will take at the low speed here. The balls will move like swing like in this position. On a higher speed, the centrifugal force that balls move like this in a 360 round of force. Here, the ball and your samples both are moved. In case of correct speed with cascading movement, this ball move like in this shape, and your samples also move with this. So impact and attrition both forces are applied. This is case of rotation. The samples move in with the ball, like in this case. Tumble ball mill. In this case, your samples will tumble with the balls, like in this movement. Vertical more mill. In case of this, your ball and samples will move in this direction. Planetary ball mill. Here, your samples will with sample and ball will move with rotation. Now, the construction. It consists of hollow cylinder which is mounted on a metallic frame in such a way that it can be rotated on its longitudinal axis. The length of the cylinder is slightly higher than its diameter. The cylinder contains balls that occupy 30 to 50% of the mill. The ball size depends on the size of the feed and the diameter of the mill. The balls are made up of steel, iron, and stone ware and act as a grinding medium. Here is a fixed closure. The drug to be ground is put into the cylinder of the mill in such a quantity that it is filled up about 60% of the volume. The fixed number of balls are introduced and the cylinder is closed. The mill is allowed to rotate on its longitudinal axis. The speed of rotation is very important. Here is the diagram of a ball mill. The sample and bowl both are placed and these are the closed vessels. Here, upon with the help of motor, a speed is governed and this rotate. See, rotation takes place in that way, this way. Low speed, high speed, and correct speed with cascading. This kind of speeds takes place in this ball mill. Here, impact and attrition force both will apply as ball interaction and ball and material interaction takes place. Now, what is the use of ball mill? For fine grinding with a particle size of 100 to 5 micron or less can be useful for production of ophthalmic and parental products. May takes place for milling dyes, pigments and insecticides at low speeds can be useful in case of ball mill. Why for parental and ophthalmic products? Because it takes place in a closed container. Now, merits of ball mill. It can produce very fine particles. Ball mill is used for both wet and dry grinding process. Toxic substance can be ground as the cylinder is closed system. Rods or bar can also be used as a grinding media. Sticky materials size reduction can take place in ball mill. Installation, operation and labor costs are low. Since the mill is closed system used for sterile products and oxygen sensitive products. Now, what are the demerits of ball mill? The ball mill is very noisy machine. Ball mill is a slow process. Soft fibrous material cannot be milled by ball mill. Now we'll say about fluid energy mill. It also referred as jet mill, micronizer, also ultra fine grinders. Fluid energy mill operates on the principle of impact and attrition. Milling takes place because of high velocity collision between the suspended particles. We'll see about its construction and working. Here you can say its construction consists of elliptical pipe which has a height of about 2 meter and diameter may ranging from 10 to 200 mm. Pipe length height about 2 meter and diameter is of 2 to 20 meter. The mill surface may be made up of either soft stainless steel or a tough ceramics. The grinding nozzles are placed tangential and opposed to the initial flow of the powder. Here, the compressed air is used at 600 kilopascal to 1 megapascal. Here, the venturi feeder is provided in the path of the airflow, and the outlet of the classifier is fitted to allow the escape the air of air. Now here, what will happen? Your sample will your sample यहाँ पे एंटर होगा, यहाँ पे एयर इनलेट होगा, क्या करेगा? एयर इनलेट होगा और यहाँ पे एयर और सैंपल्स की वजह से टर्बुलेंस क्रिएट होगा। तो क्या होगा? सैंपल्स एक दूसरे के साथ भी टकराएंगे और ये वॉल के साथ भी टकराएंगे। विद द हेल्प ऑफ दैट एयर, जो स्मॉलर साइज के पार्टिकल्स होंगे वो यहाँ पे मूव होंगे, यहाँ से मूव होंगे, और जो फाइन पार्टिकल्स है यहाँ से कलेक्ट होंगे। एंड जो बड़े साइज के पार्टिकल्स रहेंगे जो इजीली स्क्रीन आउट नहीं होंगे, वो वापस से यहाँ से एंटर होंगे। अगेन एयर प्रेशर होगा, टर्बुलेंस क्रिएट करेगा, पार्टिकल्स अगेन रिड्यूस होंगे, अगेन विद द हेल्प ऑफ द एयर फ्लो samples will screen out. So this is the construction working of fluid energy mill. This is the example of industrial scale machine. Now what will happen here? The sample will inlet, यहाँ पे वो टर्बुलेंस क्रिएट होगा, यहाँ से एयर नोजल्स पास होगी, टर्बुलेंस क्रिएट करेगा, सैंपल्स फाइन साइज के स्क्रीन आउट होंगे। अगेन जो बड़े साइज के पार्टिकल्स है यहाँ से रह जाएंगे और वापस यहाँ पे आएंगे। अगेन द सेम प्रोसेस इज रिपीटेड until the desired size are obtained. Now the work, how it works: powder introduced through the inlet and air entering through the grinding nozzle. Transport powder in elliptical track of the mill. Here, यहाँ से सैंपल एंटर होगा, फ्लूइड एयर इंटरलेट होगा, टर्बुलेंस क्रिएट होगा। In turbulent stream of air, suspended particles collide with each other and break. Thus, impact and attraction force operate the size reduction. The resultant small particles are carried out to outlet and removed by cyclone separator or a bag filter. The coarse particles undergo recirculation in the chamber on account of its own weight. They again collide with new incoming feedstock particles. The powder remains in mill until its size is reduced sufficiently. Later it leaves via the sink. Now, use of fluid energy mill. To reduce the particle size of most of the drugs such as antibiotics and vitamins, it has no moving part. It is not produced during the milling. It is a rapid and efficient method for reducing powder to 30 millimeter or less size. No contamination is possible. Its demerits are not suitable for milling of soft, sticky, and fibrous material. Equipment is expensive. Now we'll see about edge runner mill. Here you can see the industrial scale edge runner mill. The principle is the size reduction is done by crushing due to heavy weight of stones. Here the stones are used to break down the material. It consists of two heavy rolls and many weight several tons. These are the two rolls. The roller move on the bed which is made up of granite or stones. Each roller has a central shaft and a revolve on its axis. Means these rolls are moving on their axis also, and with the help of this rotor, again it will rotate in this shaft also. The roller are mounted on a horizontal shaft and move around the bed. ये यहाँ पे मशीन के अंदर भी मूव करेगा और ये रोलर अपने एक्सिस पे भी रोल करेंगे. Now the working. The material to be ground is placed on the bed with the help of scraper in such a way that it comes in the path of the stone wheel. ऊपर से सैंपल पास होगा, ये मूव होगा, ये रोलर्स मूव होंगे, रोल अपने एक्सिस पे भी मूव करेगा और ये जब ये पूरा वेसल्स मूव होगा उसके साथ भी वो मूव होगा. तो क्या होगा? मूवमेंट होगा और पार्टिकल ब्रेक डाउन होंगे. The stone revolves on its own axis and at the same time travel around the shallow stone bed. The material is ground for defined period. The powder is collected and passed a sieve to get a powder of the required size. Now the use of edge roller mill for grinding tough material to fine material used for plant-based products. Its demerit is doesn't require attention during operation. Now the demerits are occupies more space, contamination of product with roller mill may possible, time consuming process, not suitable for sticky material, and energy consumption is high. Now, last we will see about end runner mill. See, this is the basic difference between edge runner and end runner. एज रनर में दो दो स्टोन्स रहेंगे. इन केस ऑफ एंड रनर मिल एक सिंगल शाफ्ट रहेगा. सी दिस शाफ्ट. The principle involves size reduction is done by crushing due to the presence of heavy weight steel pestle. Shearing stress also involved during the movement of motor piston. It's a kind of mechanical motor and pistons. This is your piston and this is your motor. Now the working. The material to be ground is placed on the bed with the help of scraper in such a way that it comes in the path of the stone wheel. The stones revolve on its own. Sorry. It considered as mechanical motor piston. It consists of a steel motor which is fixed to a piston. The construction of motor is connected to horizontal shaft bearing a pulley so the plate with the motor can be rotated at high speed. The piston is dumped where shape and bottom of the piston is flat. The construction of piston is done in such a way that it can be raised from motor from cleaning and antique. See, this part is removable part, easily washable and again reinstall it. Now working, the material to be ground is placed in the motor. The scraper puts the material in the path of the paste. Here, का सैंपल यहाँ पे रहेगा, ये शाफ्ट रहेगा, act as a pestle, it will remove. The motor revolves at a high speed and the pestle is placed in the motor. क्या होगा आपका जो पेस्टल है वो मूव करेगा और यहाँ पे आपका पेस्टल के साथ यहाँ पे जो मोटर है वो मूव होगा और आपका जो शाफ्ट है जो पेस्टल है वो उसके साथ कांटेक्ट में आएगा, कॉन्स्टेंटली कांटेक्ट होगा और आपके पार्टिकल्स का ब्रेकडाउन होगा. The revolving motor causes pestle to revolve. The material is collected and passed through the sieve to get the powder of desired size. आपका सैंपल यहाँ पे एंटर होगा, ये मूव होगा, इस शाफ्ट के साथ अगेन मूवमेंट होगा और पार्टिकल का ब्रेकडाउन होगा और डिजायर्ड साइज with the help of sieve it can be obtained. The use or merit of end runner mill is suitable for fine grinding. Demerit is not suitable for drugs which are unbroken or slightly broken condition. So